It's the planet's ultimate game.
It's Carvajal's cross. Jorginho. Oh, extraordinary! They prayed for miracles, and miracles arrived. Real Madrid, the team of dreams.
Xhaka's corner shot. A game of the Arsenal bench. This is the lead.
Woodward Stilton. Guess who's never went away?
It's 2-1. A phenomenon.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of The Final Third. In case you can hear the disappointment in my voice, sadly, the Premier League title race is almost over, but it's not quite yet. We still have one more game to go, which is what I whisper to myself at night. But enough about me. Welcome, my fantastic, beautiful, sexy co-hosts, MrBradThomas and Betting the Pitch. Gentlemen, walk me through your weekends. I've been miserably drinking as Arsenal slowly piss away our best chance of a league title. What have you guys been up to?
You know, I want to talk about the real life. It was a good weekend. I went and celebrated my wife's first Mother's Day. So we didn't watch that much footy, but if let her tell it, we probably watched too much. But from a betting perspective, I probably had one of my worst moments as a soccer bettor when I bet Bournemouth first half corner spread, and they started the match only having 4% possession for the first 15 minutes, and then the next 10 minutes they dominated possession. I go, you know what? I'm gonna double down. I already had 2 units, doubled down at plus 4.5. I was like, they're killing possession, getting shots up. Proceeded to lose like 6-0. And I was like,
not the double down.
A horrible read.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know how you do the corners, but you got a good feel for those for sure. Yeah, the weekend was good. I actually had a good weekend. You know, if we're talking about teams, Real Madrid continue to roll. And in preparation for the Champions League final, I wish the Premier League was obviously it's going to come down to the final week, but I kind of wish Spurs could have done a little more today to make it more interesting. But there's still spots to be filled, spots to be had. People fighting, teams fighting for European spots. So excited to finish the season.
Yeah, sadly, Spurs are pathetic. Mind you, I wasn't expecting much out of them. I just hate the fact that they gave me a little bit of hope. They kept it 0-0, and they had some good chances too. And then, God forbid, and then Heung-min Son gets handed a beautiful one-on-one on a silver platter. And this man is like when he's playing really well, is one of the best one-on-one finishers like in the entire league. He scored one against Arsenal, for fuck's sake, at the Emirates. Like, an exact same situation, like a stupid giveaway, a breakaway, and then what does he do? Scores it easily. But against Ortega, no, he can't do that. He puts it right at the guy's legs. It's just like, come on, man.
So I did want to ask you, because I knew we were getting on the podcast tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, does he do that on purpose?
No.
Because like you said, like he doesn't miss those. He just doesn't miss those. And yeah, it was a good save, but like
it was a good save.
Man, like I'm watching it and I'm like Sonny doesn't miss those.
I don't think so. I honestly, I think it's really just the Spurs fans. And I tell you what, as annoying as Ange has been when he says shit like earlier in the season and goes back on it when it like benefits him and Spurs later on. I tell you what was really funny is this week when the English media were asking him about what he thought about Spurs fans who might thought it would be beneficial to lose the game so that Arsenal wouldn't win the league. He basically just said, that's a losing mentality. If you're a Spurs fan and you think we should lose this game on purpose, then you should go and seek counseling. Because that's not the kind of club I want to run. And it's so funny because Spurs fans on Twitter are getting mad at him for saying that they should try and win games. Like, I understand there's more to it than that. Like, I get the broader context of, like, not wanting Arsenal to win the league. But, like, it's just so funny. Like, he's almost too good for them.
What's that? The commentator, the one who does the Liga, I'm trying to remember. I was watching ESPN FC, and he made a really good point where he was like, half of these players don't care. And it's like he was making it generalized, right? But
Yeah.
he was using this as an example. Half the players don't care about the rivalry, not the way fans do. Like they're there to play well and make and win games. Like
It's
they
a
don't have
job.
this like dying hatred for their rivals. And I was like, it's so true. Like when he puts it in a perspective like that, we forget that, like as fans, that like these guys are there to do their job. They are at work. Like
Yeah.
I I could care less about what rivalry I have if it means it's going to take away from my profession.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I think because I mean Spurs started the game very well. They looked very strong, and I was like, okay, they came to play today. But like you said, just they missed some really big chances. And then just let City get that first goal and then, concede the penalty at the end. But yeah, I think that, obviously it's hard to say what the players think, but us as fans, obviously the hype for the rivalries and sports and the media always hypes it up. And, you're watching playoff hockey right now and, there's a rivalry with with the teams playing each other and it's so aggressive and exciting and things like that. So obviously it feeds to the sports fans and makes people want to watch the game. So interesting to think that, the players just don't give a shit about it. But, man, I really thought Spurs were gonna do it today, or at least like I was feeling like it was gonna be a draw, like a 1-1 draw. Like that's what it, like after the first half, I was like, man, this is gonna be like Spurs are gonna score first, and then City's gonna have to equalize late, and it's gonna be drama, and it's gonna be like 1-1.
What's funny is I was like, I even put in the Discord chat. I was like, I hope this gets to 0-0 because at 0-0 at first half, I was like, I'm gonna 100% bet City. Like I had it circled on my thing to take them live, and they were like minus 150. And then once the line came out, I think it was minus 165, 170. I was terrified. I was like, this is a horrible price for a game that could end in a draw, especially like a late equalizer, which probably would have happened. It's funny just how that happened.
I wanted Spurs to score first because if Spurs scores first, I would have been all over. Like, I mean, City double chance probably wouldn't have been bettable, but City tie no bet just so you're covered on that, because it's just like if Spurs score first, then City are going to be like, that like meme of the guy who like leans forward like that, that would be City. But as soon as City went 1-0,
they would have turned it right on. Yeah.
As soon as
that's what I was hoping. Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Yeah, I was hoping for Spurs to score first because then I knew it was going to be like Pep was going to turn it on and City was just going to just complete press.
Yeah.
So but they blew chances. I mean, they Spurs had some really, really good chances.
They really did.
Yeah, I mean, and also it's just like it sucks that their backup keeper is also like you could potentially throw Ortega as like definitely top 10, but like he could be like a top 5 keeper. Like he's very good.
Yeah,
like when he's like I would not say there's a noticeable drop off between him and Edison. Edison's got better like ball playing ability, but from a pure shot stopping perspective, Ortega is very good.
Yep.
And it's just like obviously it's frustrating that Son misses that chance, but players do care about the rivalry to a certain extent, and typically that extent is when you play each other. Like scoring against Arsenal, that's a big deal. Like they care about that. They want to get a result against Arsenal. Outside of that they don't care. And it's just like it's your job, and getting into the Champions League is so huge for you to boost your own transfer value as a player. Like anything like that, like getting into the Champions League is such a massive thing. And it's just like they fucked it up, I mean, it's so hilarious that everyone thought Spurs were going to be like title challengers based on like a couple of months of decent football. It's just like, yeah, they've had injury problems, but also they were never sustaining that. And the fact that they were top for so long and then didn't even come top 4, it's just small club mentality, baby. Small club mentality.
So top 4 is set now, right? Villa clinches top 4.
Villa clinched it today. So it's kind of sad that everything's kind of wrapped up. I really wanted more stuff to be coming down to the wire on decision day. But I mean, like technically the Premier League title race is alive, but I don't have faith in West Ham. So
No,
I'm
not even
just
remotely.
assuming. Yeah, I'm just assuming that City have won the title. So I'm not even going to get my hopes up. If West Ham score first, then it's probably going to end 4-1 or something like that. Like I'm not even like it would literally need to be like a 3-goal lead for me to even consider getting excited.
No matter what, I feel like you said, no matter what happens,
Yeah.
there's no way I'm thinking that West Ham are gonna see out a victory.
Yeah.
Like, not a chance.
And if they do go up like a goal or two, I'm just betting City. Like, because then either Arsenal are going to win the league or I'm going to make a load of money on a City comeback. So it's just like I'll be fine either way.
Exactly.
So I don't think West Ham are going to put up a fight. So that's the title race wrapped up. Champions League is wrapped up. So then, and relegation is also essentially wrapped up. It's a crazy difference. Luton are technically, mathematically still in it, but they are 3 points and 11 goal difference behind Forest. So you'd need to see like 3 or 4-0 win for Luton and hope that Forest get dicked like 5 or 6-0 to make that goal difference work both ways, which is
that's not happening.
Happening.
They already during the broadcast they already said Luton Town relegated. They put the little red over their name.
Wow, that's disrespectful. It's mathematically still possible.
I celebrated too. Remember I told you I had that big Luton bet, and I celebrated. I text my boys. I go, we're pretty much wrapped there, man.
Yeah, what odds did you get on them to go down actually?
Minus 154, I think.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not making as much money as I'd want because I took them to finish bottom as well.
Ooh.
So, but I got good odds on the finish bottom, so I didn't have to put that much. But it's nice to still make some profit.
Absolutely. Which then really leaves the most exciting race left is for a fucking Europa Conference League spot because Spurs have basically got 5th. So it comes down to the race for 6th place, which is a really funny, just like battle of like mid-table bullshit. So we've got Newcastle in 6th on 57 points with plus 22 goal difference. We have Chelsea also on 57 points, right below them on plus 12 goal difference. Then we have Man U on 54 goal difference with minus 4 goal difference, which is hilariously bad, by the way. The fact that Man U have negative goal difference in the year of our Lord 2024, embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
It's funny because
I mean they literally have Casemiro playing center back. What do you expect?
Oh my goodness.
They're an absolute mess.
Remember how I tweeted a week ago? It's time to have a conversation about Casemiro. Oh my goodness, what the fuck was he doing against Arsenal? That man was just strolling up the field like not a care in the world. No. And it's just like, yo,
it's
you
a
understand?
For all at United.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like I don't know. Clearly he's just never thought about what you need to do as a center back. Like this man has been living in the center of midfield, and it's just like, bro, did you forget how to hold like a defensive line? Like, do you remember what the offside rule is? Because he just strolled back. I mean, Havertz should have been like 2 meters offside.
Yeah,
but he just
and
played
then
it on.
And then I saw the video of the floods at the stadium.
Oh yeah, well, Old Trafford's a shit stadium. Like it's got legacy. It's basically it's built on vibes at this point. That's what's holding.
Yeah, the owners don't want to put money into it.
Yeah. It's just, like United just feel like I don't know. They need something. They need help. Like, and it's not just the players and the team. I feel like the whole organization just needs a rebuild itself.
Yeah.
I mean, you're Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in England, Europe, and you have a stadium that's, literally waterfalls in the stadium.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, that's like for relegation, championship, League One teams,
Yeah. No, they call it the Field of Dreams because it's hanging together by the hopes and dreams of Man U fans, and that's fucking it. That is it.
Oh man, I feel so bad. Get my boy Garnacho out of there. Get him to Real Madrid.
Well, that does lead us nicely into our midweek action because I think the most relevant game to this European qualification is between Man U and Newcastle. This is at Old Trafford, and I've said on this podcast before, I don't really respect Newcastle away from home, especially recently, but I don't know if I respect Man U at home or away. So it's a weird one because they really need a win here. If they get a win here, that brings them essentially level on points, but then the goal difference is essentially shot. So they need to win this and then win again on the final day and hope that Chelsea and Newcastle don't get results. In my eyes, this is prime for Chelsea to somehow sneak in and get this last spot.
Yeah. Newcastle on the road, it's not only the fact that they aren't getting the results, the style they're playing with just doesn't work. They're sitting so deep and basically trying to suck the life out of the match. But I feel like you don't have to do that against United, right? You don't have to, but I think they're going to. I think they're gonna trust that they can beat them on the break with as bad and slow as United's back line is. I just couldn't put money on Newcastle, man. Like maybe this game, if United score a goal in the first half or take a first half lead, maybe this is a game that'd be the game where I'd bet like Newcastle team total over 1.5.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Newcastle didn't look very good at home versus Brighton in their last match, and United have just looked absolutely awful of late. So I don't trust either team. We talked about it on the pod, and we've been talking about it all season. Newcastle away from home. I was leaning United team total over 1.5, but it's hovering around like minus 145 right now. I might hold for like the first like 10, 15 minutes, see how the match goes, and see if I can get it at a better price and see what the lineups look like. But yeah, I mean, United need this game, and it's just at some point they have to figure it out, and at some point they have to go for it, and at some point they have to create some sort of offense attack or something. And it just, I don't know. I mean, this has to be it. There's no other, there's no tomorrow, I guess you could say, for United. And if you're gonna have a game, this would be the one, to try and do it against Newcastle on the road, at home.
Yeah, I thought what you said I thought was pretty interesting when you said that Newcastle didn't look that good against Brighton, and why I said I thought it was interesting is because I actually said something similar during the game, and I was like, wow, they don't look that good, but like what's funny? We never were like in those two games that Brighton have played now, getting results in both. We weren't like, wow, Brighton actually, despite not scoring, look pretty good.
Yeah. So what you think it was Brighton that looked better? You think?
No. Hold on, I'll finish. I'll make it quick, and then
okay. Sorry.
The only reason I was saying that is because now it just makes me wonder about this Chelsea match when Brighton played Chelsea. Like, if Chelsea don't get the result against Brighton, are we going to be like Chelsea played bad, or just De Zerbi putting in these lineups that basically just confuse you, and these tactics that just try to confuse you to limit you from scoring? Because at the beginning of the season, it was a work in progress. I think he wishes his offensive output in the beginning of the season would match their defensive output towards the end of the season.
Yeah, Brighton have also dealt with a ton of injuries this year.
And balancing European play.
Yes, but like big injuries too. I mean, not just depth, like the starters and like their
Matoma,
guys.
March.
Yes,
Pedro missed a lot of time.
Yeah, Pedro, Ferguson's got a knock now, so it's just they've been dealing with injuries a ton. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Chelsea just look good right now. I mean, I want Chelsea, and I think I want Chelsea, and I might go with United depending on the lineup, but I don't trust either team in the United Newcastle game, and then obviously I want to be on the side of Chelsea, but I do think Brighton can put up a fight. I thought they looked halfway decent versus Newcastle, and I just depending on the lineup, once again they have some question marks with injuries and things like that, but yeah, I'll probably lean towards Chelsea in that match.
That's fair. I agree. I kind of want to.
I agree.
I kind of want to take Chelsea money line as opposed to team total, because the team total is juiced, but money line's plus money. Like, I just don't see like Brighton scoring 2 goals. Like, they haven't looked like a 2-goal team in like months.
Well, I'm hoping these games are going to be pretty high scoring, because I don't really trust Brighton to defend shit. I mean, Brighton haven't looked brilliant offensively, but I also don't really trust Chelsea to defend, especially away from home. And then Man U, Newcastle, I mean, both teams to score is almost minus 400, which I think might be the most insane odds I've ever seen on both teams to score. Like, that's crazy. I'm almost tempted to bet no. I'm not going to, but I thought about it because my mind is sick and twisted, and I like weird shit on unders, even though it's not really an under, but it's a no. So just give me goals, because I'm going to be betting shots, because both these teams, like Chelsea, need win, and Man U and Newcastle all need to win this game if they want to really secure it. So give me shots on those guys. I'm going Isak, give me Garnacho, give me Cole Palmer. All those boys are going to be shooting. So I'm gonna build a sexy ass first half shot slot.
I'm not freaking ever putting American dollars on Garnacho again, man.
Hey.
He's hasn't been shooting a ton recently, man. It's been ticking me off.
He shot 4 times against Arsenal in the first half, and I was just like, dude, because the week before
that first half, they were humming that first half.
I mean, they weren't threatening. They were
humming.
getting shots off.
I think they were humming. It's a big difference in humming. Like, have you ever been afraid of a hummingbird?
Yeah.
They're just annoying, like the flea in your. That's what they were doing. A lot of activity. I don't think it was positive activity, but it was funny. I was really surprised. I thought they were going to kind of roll over and die, but when you have a rivalry like that, the two teams that have been playing for so long, so much history, it's kind of hard not to. I think the fans kind of gave them a little bit of energy in that one.
Yeah, it's a rivalry at the end of the day. Like these are two of the most successful clubs in Premier League history, so it makes sense that the game meant a lot. I'm annoyed. I got burned in that game, and this is why I hate betting on Arsenal games, because if we don't do well, like if we win, then I'm happy. But if my bets didn't hit, it's just like, why? And I had Saka 2 first half shots, and he shoots once in the 4th minute.
Yes.
And I'm just like, all right, bring it on, baby. That's high pressure. That's high pressure. Run some more, and then we had nothing. I think we had
bet.
Yeah, we had 5 shots that whole half, I think, or not many. It was just kind of like, wow, that's crazy. And then Garnacho has 4, and it's like, bro, you couldn't get 2 shots total the week before.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got kind of lucky in that Arsenal game because I didn't take Arsenal spread. I parlayed Arsenal with City -1, and then with 10 minutes left in the match, the live total was 2, juiced to the over, and I was like, what? So I took it at +105 under 2 goals. I was like, why would I not bet this? Like, they scored 2 goals in 10 minutes. I deserve to lose. So I got really lucky.
Yeah, it was a game. It was an experience. I'm glad we got the win. It's just kind of bummer that it's not going to really amount to much.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else we want to talk about in the Premier League before we move on to a couple of other games over in Franchland?
No, I think that's it.
Nice.
I'll save my best bet for
the best
for
bet
later in the
segment.
show. That's out of the Premier League.
Yeah, make them wait for it.
Yeah.
We have a couple of games in France, because they still have an interesting European qualification situation going on. The first game is Nice against PSG. Nice are 1 game and 4 points behind Brest, which never gets old to me, in 4th place. And PSG have just stopped caring, because they're basically over Mbappe. Mbappe's done. He knows he's going. He knows he's going at this point, and he had a weird reception when he played his last game at the Parc des Princes, which was.
He had a weird game in general. The whole thing was freaking weird.
Yeah, it was, because the fans booed him, but the PSG ultras put out this great big tifo, so it was just kind of weird vibes. I mean, I just
think that fans who boo in that situation are so weak. He played for the club. That was his first club of being the man, because at Monaco, he was still a teenager who's still getting driven to the club, so he grew. I don't want to say grew up in terms of growing up as a soccer player, but he grew up that was his first adult team of him being a grown man making his own decisions, and you have to respect that he wants to go,
and he could have left so much earlier.
Earlier.
Madrid came knocking 2 years ago, and he was supposed to go, and then he said no, and then the reason why he's going now is because he didn't want to piss off Perez anymore, which I love. That's so funny. But he stayed another 2 years just because to give it another go, because they were just no, wait, we're going to we'll keep building the team. We're going to get rid of Messi, bring in some other guys. We'll make another go at it, because when you don't win the Champions League, when your front 3 is Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, as Mbappe, you're probably this kind of sucks if we can't do it with this team.
Yep.
But then they stuck around, made a go at it, and came up short. And it's just kind of like, and also not really his fault. Like, he played pretty well, all things considered. PSG just hit the post 6 times. You know, I think we've covered how unlucky PSG were in that game against Dortmund in both those games. So it's just like, it's not like he had like a penalty to like send them through and missed. Like, when he got his chances, he did pretty well. So the fact that they boo him is just kind of weak. But they booed Neymar. But like, Neymar deserved to be booed because the guy would like get injured, quote unquote, and then go to Brazil for his sister's parties. And it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude? Do you care about the club, or are you just trying to fuck off?
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I mean, I truly feel like Mbappe cared about PSG and playing for them and gave them everything he had, So yeah, it was kind of disappointing to see that, but it is what it is. I'm gonna wait. I'm definitely gonna wait for lineups in this game because I don't know if Mbappe will start or not. I'd be interested to see.
He's not starting.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, Nice team total over 1.5 at plus money looks good. You could take over 3 at plus money as well. That looks good depending on lineups. But yeah, like you said, I mean, PSG just at this point they're just experimenting, and they're just trying to figure out what they're going to do after Mbappe leaves, and I think obviously Nice have way more to play for at home in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that takes us to the last game I want to talk about, unless you guys have anything that you really want to talk about, which fair enough. If you do, we'll get there. But I want to talk about Reims against Marseille. And Marseille are 1 game and 3 points behind Lens in 6th place, which is another Conference League spot.
Yep.
So big one for Marseille, playing on the road against a mid-table side that isn't that impressive. So, like, I want to trust Marseille, but then I watched them play Atalanta away from home, and they look fucking awful.
Yeah.
So God knows. I mean, you just have to hope Aubameyang turns up if they can get him the ball.
It's funny because, like, I wanted to take Marseille corners in this match because Reims is not a real good high-yield corner team, but neither is Marseille. And so it's like, God, do I just bet the desperation because it's plus money? Do I bet the desperation there, or do I just let it ride? So I don't know. I think, like, if you're Marseille, I think doing something in principle is one thing, right? Like, you want to be aggressive. You want to shoot a lot. You want to score. But being able to actually put that plan in motion is another thing. And I don't know if I quite trust them.
Yeah, Marseille are the Newcastle of Ligue 1. They are very good at home, awful on the road.
Yes.
What a great comparison.
Yeah, they really are. If you look at the stats, it's crazy. It's like almost the same thing as looking at Newcastle. And Reims they aren't bad at home. I think they're going to give Marseille fits in this one. I really wanted to play both teams to score, but the number is too high. Over 2.5 is a little too high for me as well. I might try and see if I can catch both teams to score live. Wait for it to come down because it's sitting around like minus 175 right now. So if I can get it down, live, I think I might go that route. But this feels like it could be a 2-1 game in either direction.
Yeah.
I like that.
It also feels like it'd be a total stinker where it's just Marseille putting up a bunch of shots and they're not converting them too. That's why I'm afraid.
Well, I wish I could bet just like raw shots on FanDuel, but they only offered like first half shots on target.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Why they do it, I don't know, because every major league used to have first half shots. Then they took it away from every league that wasn't the Premier League, and then they gave it back to La Liga, but they never gave it back to the Bundesliga. They never gave it back to Ligue 1, and it's just like so frustrating because I'm like, bro, this is my money. This is how I make my money.
Your first half FIFA Brits, literally your sensei FIFA, first half sensei.
Sammy Shots, baby. They don't call me Sammy Shots for nothing.
I love shot props because, like, I was looking at my data today. In this season so far, we've made 39 units on shots and 37 units on corners. And I know for sure I have a higher win percentage on corners. But then I go and look back, like, the plus 700s, the plus 500s that you hit. And you're like, yep, those are quick.
Yeah, it just takes a couple of those to get you going.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Any other games we want to talk about before we hit the best bets?
I think that's it for the midweek.
Beautiful. Well, best bets it is. I'm going to go first this time because I've decided to not wimp out. No more conditional bullshit. Although, to be fair, they were my best bets for that week. So, I'm not going to apologize for that. But this week, we're locking in something properly ahead of time. And I'm just like, yep, absolutely going to run it. So, here's what I'm doing. Garnacho to record a first half shot and over 1.5 total goals in that Man U Newcastle game. And then Cole Palmer to get a first half shot as well against Brighton. That is minus 122. I trust Garnacho and Palmer the most, and I'm also probably going to take them for 2 each and 3 each because I have a feeling they're going to be ripping shots. But just their first half shots parlayed together was about minus 150, which is not really where I want to be. But this Man U Newcastle game looks like it's going to be like a 3 or 4 goal thriller. So just give me those 2 goals. And if it dies on that, if it's a 1-0 game, then okay, so be it. It's not to be. But I figured might as well whip out the first half shot builder for the best bets. And that way I can't be like, well, this didn't happen. So it doesn't count. Because even though that's valid.
You're in it now.
Yeah, even though that's valid, I wanna, just whip the dick out, stick it on the table, and just be like, here it is, baby. I live or die by this prop.
So, my God. Betting on the EPL goat, though, so I like it. Well, I'm not whipping my dick out, but I'm going to Coppa Italia today when the podcast comes out, Wednesday. Atalanta and Juventus, going both teams to score. I see it around plus 100, minus 105, depending on what book you use. This is being played, on neutral ground, so there's no, home or away team, and it's a final. So for me, for finals, I like to take both teams to score because, as soon as the one team scores, the other one's got to press. Both teams have been in form of late. Both teams are healthy, and I think that we see goals in this one. Last time they met was on March in Juventus. It was 2-2. There was a ton of goals. There was a ton of chances, and I think we see something similar. And I don't think Dusan played that game. So, with Juventus having him for this one, just adds more attack for that team.
I like it.
I'm probably going to take Atalanta first half corner handicap in that one with Mr. Allegri going to have his team be very reactionary. But like you said, I do think that Atalanta score first and Juventus are going to have to answer. They're really good at answering though. There's no quitting that team, which is great, and I don't trust them defensively, which helps the bet even more. Let me get with my bet. I'm going to go with. Fuck, any words I'm going to come out of my mouth. Hate this bet, but it's a bet you have to take.
Love it. Wow. Oh, you're filling me with confidence here, Brad. This is my best bet.
Bet you have to take.
I can't wait to tail this best bet.
You have to take it. Tactically, it's a home run. Manchester United first half corner handicap. Listen, so they're playing against Newcastle. We know how Newcastle are away from home. United have to try to quote unquote save their season. They're going to play hard. Like I said, they're going to be buzzing, whether that means goals or not. They're going to have plenty of opportunities to get crosses in, to take shots, and against a Newcastle side who probably won't see much of the ball, at least not in comparison to them at home. It's a good opportunity for United to go up like 3 or 4 in the corner count. You have to take it, much you hate it. I think Newcastle this season, like 35% percentage winning the first half corner handicap on the road.
They also just don't really shoot that much.
No.
Burnley is an exception, and Newcastle were firing all over them. And it's just okay, brilliant. That's Burnley. But then, the away game they played before that, I forget who it was against, but they had one shot in the first half. And it's just you're not generating corners off one shot. It's just not going to happen. Whereas Man U might not convert their shots into goals very often, but you can bet your ass Garnacho is going to try a couple of times. And whether he gets on target is a different matter, but maybe he does and he gets saved. It's just brilliant. There's a corner.
Yep. I like it. It's like one of those things.
United got to go for it. So I think they should be on the front foot of the ball. for most of the game, and I would imagine they start off fast. So I like that.
God,
Yep.
I hope so.
Their fans will be
Awesome.
absolutely rocking.
Yeah, no, you're right. Should be a good one. I
With
mean,
light
like,
vests on.
I'm just hoping that both these games are just absolute bangers. Give me loads of shots. Give me loads of goals. Let's all go home happy before the final day of the season. That'd be
Yeah.
nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, I like that.
Anything else we want to talk about before we wrap up our little midweek special?
Just want to talk about how I'm thankful for you guys.
That's so nice.
Aww.
That's the
I'm thankful
nicest,
for you
nicest
too.
thing you've ever said. Oh,
And so we're all in votes for Vinny for Ballon d'Or, right?
No, he's not going to win it because him and Jude are going to split. They're going to split the Madrid lovers. They're going to pick one or the other, and then it's going to go to Mbappe.
the problem is it depends so heavily on Euros and Copa America. Like, you can't pick a winner now. You have to see how Brazil do. You have to see how England do. You have to see how France do, because
France are going to win it, and
Probably.
Brazil's going to choke in the finals. So
we'll see.
Brazil's old as time.
That's
I
true.
can't wait for that. I can't wait for the Copa and
Oh,
Euros.
summers are going to be Summer, I'll turn into Ange for a second there. Summers are going to be great because once they're both on at the same time, Euros are going to kick off at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is so much nicer than 5 o'clock in the morning like the World Cup was. So we get Euros at 9 o'clock. We get a game at 9, game at 12, game at 3. That's the Euro slate done. Then we have Copa America game at 6, game at 9. That's done at 11 o'clock at night. So we get, on a full game slate, because like sometimes there'll be 2 games, sometimes there'll be 3 Euro games, but on a proper day, hopefully over the weekend, so I can, day drink the fuck out of that slate. It's going to be like starting at 9 o'clock, going until 11. And it's just, that is what summer is supposed to be like, That's what I'm looking forward to. Give me that, end this Premier League season already. It's basically all wrapped up. Give me some nice proper tournament footy. That's what I'm begging for.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that because the players, when they're playing for their country, really seem to turn it up a notch. And I think right now, obviously, with most of the leagues wrapped up, players are just kind of going through the motions for the most part.
Yeah,
They
for
really
sure.
are. You could see it like I bet Lecce against Udinese, and Lecce were down for the whole second half, and they were literally walking to take the ball and the throw. And every single time I was like, why are they walking? And then the fans are just like celebrating. I was like, you have to remember, like, the fans and the players are just so happy they're staying up.
Yeah. That's been my biggest thing when picking games and giving out plays. I've just been looking for games that matter. Like, I don't really care about the matchup for anything else. If there's a phenomenal matchup, if the game doesn't matter, I don't want any part of it because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what subs are going to come out, at halftime, or if, like you said, if players are going to walk to the ball and there's going to be no sense of urgency and it's just going to be like, just kicking it around the pitch for 90 minutes. So I think that's one of the tricky things at the end of the season is looking for those matchups where, teams are playing for something, players are playing for something, whatever the case may be, and just targeting those.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so funny because the odds of this happening is just like absolutely ridiculous. But I said in my YouTube video that I sent out last week covering like the weekend slate, I did the Bournemouth and Brentford game, and I was just like, I'm going to put this one really simply. This game's going to fucking suck. Neither of these teams have anything to play for. There's no recent bet on it, and I don't like the odds for anything. So I'm not going to touch this one. This game is going to suck. And then people were getting really pissy about it in the soccer chat. And they were just like, yo, why does this game stink? It's 0-0 this whole time. And I sent them the clip of me saying, this game is going to fucking suck. It doesn't matter for anything. Sent that. I was just like, wow, you guys should have listened to me. Then there was a goal in the 86th, 89th, and 95th minute, and it ended 2-1. And everyone was like, ooh, Sam, what are you saying about this game sucking? And I'm just like, yo, I don't know what to tell you, all right? That, like, never happens. But, like, GG's. I genuinely hope you made money on what just happened. But, like, for 86 minutes, this game fucking sucked.
Yeah. It was funny you say that because I was getting asked about that game in the chat, and I didn't even know. I didn't watch your clip, and I said the same thing. I said, I think this game is going to be like 0-0. Like, no, I don't think there's going to be fucking anything going on here.
Yeah. exactly. You're just like Bournemouth, Brentford. What do they have to care about? Like, okay.
I didn't even look at it. I skipped right past it.
Yeah, you're like, Tony hasn't scored in, 3 months? Why do I care about Brentford again? Oh, right, I don't. I don't give a shit. So I have no regrets about putting no money on that game, but I'm glad that my reverse jinx helped, get 3 goals in the last 5 minutes. That's good. That's good.
Yep.
All righty. Well, anything else we want to talk about, or are we good for today?
I'm good, man.
Beautiful.
I think we kissed each other. We put our thing on the table. We're gonna win some best bets.
That's true. All of that did happen. This is a pretty short episode. Look at us. We're being really efficient today. Look at that.
Yeah,
I like it.
Don't worry, listeners. When we get to Copa and Euros, I know we're having a crap ton to talk about.
Oh fuck yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, get ready. You're gonna want to. I didn't even get to finish my whiskey this time.
I was gonna say Sam's gonna need a fresh bottle of whiskey for those episodes.
Yeah, he will.
I still have like 20 minutes worth of whiskey for that. Yeah.
Leave the bottle on the desk.
Oh yeah, that might be the move. Yeah, hold the glass, baby. Hold the glass. Bring the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. All righty. Anything you guys want to plug before we head out?
Yeah, man. Make sure you check out my work on NBCSports.com, where I have my article. It's been crushing it. Last power rankings article of the season. It's going to be sad, but it'll come out on Thursday, hopefully Thursday night. So you guys will have it by Friday. Follow us on X. You follow me at MrBradThomas.
You can follow me at BettingThePitch. Make sure to join in the Discord for more plays from all of us. Obviously with Copa and Euros coming up, if you're looking to, bet some stuff for the summer, I mean, this is the time. I love the international games. So there's a ton of ways to bet those games. Usually a ton of lines on the books and good lines too.
I'm just hoping we get live shots back. They gave us live shots on FanDuel during the World Cup. Give me that, because I will hammer the shit out of that market.
During the World Cup, we were just exploiting markets, and especially when a team A would have their group wrapped up early, and we all know that they're gonna play so-and-so, and his shots are over 1.5. We're just hammering it.
Yes. The World Cup was fun. Yeah, I can't wait for 26 for sure.
Can't wait for this summer. We have 3 equally amazing soccer events going on: Euros, Copa America, and Major League Soccer. All 3 of those are equally as important and relevant in my mind, and I will be betting all 3 expeditiously. You can follow me on Twitter /X at FIFA Brit, and you can sign up for the Discord at goldboys.com. Thank you very much to the Gold Boys Network for continuing to host this podcast, even though we are a group of chaotic little boys that just like to talk random shit all day, and we fucking love it. So thank you for that. And wherever you are listening, dear listener, please be sure to press the follow button if you haven't already. And if you're feeling generous, leave us a nice little review. If 5 stars would be nice. If you're feeling maybe, just 4 stars, I'd take 4 stars, but 5 would be nice. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your days. We will be back on Friday to cover Premier League Decision Day and all the other funky action going on this weekend. Best of luck with all your bets, and we will catch you guys next time. Mwah.